If I did not know today were the second Sunday of Easter, I would think today is Low Sunday, given how many of us are in church this morning for the 8 o'clock service. But I know last Sunday was Low Sunday, the Sunday after Easter. In the Episcopal Church, we call it Low Sunday. Everybody, now that you're done with Easter, you take a break. The last Sunday, I was away, and so my thanks to Father Phil Emmanuel, who was here with you. But that's not the sermon for this morning, because what I want to draw your attention to this morning, apart from the fact that we have so much in the book of Acts to preach on, I want to revisit John's Gospel. Because the disciples are in the in-between time, if you will. All right. Their friend, their leader, their rabbi has been killed. He was buried. And then he shows up. Okay, what's next? The first time he shows up to Mary, at least according to John's Gospel. And then the next time he shows up and they are in the room, locked doors, and he shows up and some of the disciples are dead. Thomas is missing. He shows up again and Thomas is there and he shows himself to Thomas. This time, John tells us this is the third time he's showing up. I'm not keeping count here because I'm not sure how many times John is looking at this, but he shows up on the beach. Peter and the other disciples, I suspect, are trying to get their lives back in some form. If you will, they are trying to create the new normal. Because now that Jesus has been executed and he's risen, okay, what's next for them? Peter, I suspect, have sat around for a while and he said to himself, I gotta do something because I'm going out of my mind. Guys, I'm going fishing. And the rest of them said, oh, we're going with you. Said, so they get together and they go fishing. And all night, they come up with nothing. And just when they are coming ashore, I suspect to pack up the gear and go home for the day, someone shows up. Out of nowhere, he shows up and asks them, you have nothing, do you? No, we caught nothing. What business is that to you anyway? That would be Wilmot asking him, but never mind that. What difference does that make to you? But no, we don't have any fish. All right, well, turn it on the right side. We spent all night, we got nothing. It's almost day, and we know that the fish are not around. By this time they're gone. So we're going so we can return tomorrow night and try again. Now you're telling us to throw on the right side. Okay, well, that's no loss. Let's just do it. And they throw the net, and lo and behold, the catch that they have. One of the disciples, and they don't tell us this. This is the thing. John's Gospel has a way of Peter, James and John, the sons of Zebedee. You would name Nathaniel, all these. Then he said 2 other disciples. Why you didn't just name the whole rest of them? This is when people get angry. You thank everybody and you forget someone else. You know, that thing we do. He names everyone, but he doesn't talk about these 2. Anyway, one of those who is unnamed says to Simon Peter, Simon, it's the Lord. What? Simon, it's the Lord. And Simon Peter does something that I find crazy. He's naked. He's fishing. He's in the water. He gets dressed and then he jumps in the water. I mean, why do you do that kind of crazy thing? Why will you get dressed and then jump in the water? Why you jump in the water while you're naked? But never mind, Simon Peter is teaching us you can do some crazy things. It's the Lord. I have to dress up for him, just like I'm going to church, and then jump in the water. Lord, I'm doing my best here. He gets dressed and jumps in the water. They come ashore, and there is a charcoal fire with fish on it and bread. Where did it come from? Well, Jesus has done it again. There's fish and bread, and they are going to have breakfast. They are going to break their fast. They are going to participate in another form, if you will, of the Eucharist. They're going to have a meal together. And during this meal, they're going to have a conversation. And Jesus is going to have a deeper conversation with Peter at the end of this gospel text that we have. Let me invite you to think with me about what it will be for you and for me if Jesus were to show up today. Peter did not recognize him. The other disciple recognized him. Why was it that Peter did not recognize him? Was it because of the time of the morning? Or what kept Peter from recognizing him so that the other disciple recognized him and pointed out to Peter is the Lord? What was the distraction for Peter that may have caused him not to recognize Jesus and the other disciple did? What distracts you from recognizing the one who will show up today to greet you as the personification of the beloved? I do not know, but this much I know. Like you, there are so many distractions, I miss the opportunity to appreciate more often than not the beauty of the day that God has given me. I miss the opportunity to appreciate the one walking next to me that God has blessed me to be a part of. I miss the opportunity because I'm already trying to get to the next event, so I don't slow down long enough to see what God is trying to say to me. What were those distractions for Peter that caused him to miss recognizing the one who came to him again by the seashore? Was he so focused on trying to pack up the gear? We spent all night and we got nothing. It's time to go home. And so let's pack up. So that he was so focused on getting things ashore, packing up, that he missed the one who was standing on the beach. What will cause you to miss the word that God will speak to you today through someone else? We, all of us, have all of those life distractions that we miss the opportunity to hear the voice and to see the face of the one who comes to us. I do not know how he will do that for you today. But this much I know, every day he's coming to you. He comes to us. Every day he comes in some form to see whether we will recognize him. It's not a test. I don't believe he's testing us. He's trying to get closer to us to continue to nurture the relationship that he wants with us. And Peter is the Lord. He gets dressed and jumps in the water. It's the Lord, the one speaking to you on the beach that looks like another man. It's the Lord. May that one who came and lived among us, teaching us how to be in relationship with one another, and in the end was nailed to the cross, but then rose for us and now sits on the right hand of power, interceding for us. May that one greet you today in a way that's unique, and that you will not have the opportunity to miss his presence. May he invite us into a deeper relationship with him, so that you and I may know the risen Christ as he reveals himself to us. And then we may take the instruction to feed the lamb, to feed the sheep. We may take the command to love as he loved. I don't know where you are today, and I don't know all of the distractions you're dealing with, all of those concerns of life like me that you have, that you continue to deal with. But I commend you to the one who knows all about it. I commend you to him, to invite him into your life in a way that reassures you that he walks with you and he talks with you, because he loves you and he loves me. May he help us amidst all of the issues and concerns that we have to deal with. May he help us to enjoy his presence as he comes to us on a daily basis. Peter, it's the Lord. It is the Lord. It's not just another person on the beach. Peter, it is the Lord. It's the Lord. And he's here. Hallelujah. Christ is risen. The Lord is risen indeed. Hallelujah. Amen.